global jitters weigh on the street as Trump threatens 500% tariffs. The Nifty falls below the 26,000 mark with broader indices underperforming. Metals are the biggest drags with all sectors now in the negative territory.
Steel major Tata Steel posts strong third-quarter operational update with best-ever quarterly India crude steel production, led by strong production in Jamshedpur and Kalinganagar plant. India deliveries grew 14% YOY, while Europe remained weak. Morgan Stanley has maintained overweight stance on the stock with a target price of $220 per share.
Panacea Biotech has completed phase 3 human trials of its key dengue vaccine across 19 locations in India. If approved, it will be India's first indigenous single-shot dengue vaccine targeting all 4 strains, with the market launch expected by 2027.
Balaji Amines soars in trade after an eligibility certificate under Maharashtra's package scheme of incentives that the company has received. The approval entitles the company's Unit 4 mega project to incentives worth about 260 crore rupees, providing a positive boost to project economics and cash flows.
Hi there, welcome back to ET Now. Very good afternoon. You're watching Market Farafat with me, Kanishka Sarkar, and Ashish Adwaryu. And over the next half an hour, we'll talk about all the top buzzers in trade today, which are buzzing either on the back of fundamental news flow or on the back of technicals. But before we get started, a quick look at how the markets are shaping up. And it's a rather negative day coming in for the market. And, it looks like a free fall, especially for the sensex, which is down more than 700 points right now, 84,244. That's where sensex is at. Let's also talk about Nifty, down nearly 1% right now, nearly 250 points of downtrend over there. 25,892 is where we are trading. 25,900, that's also the level that Nifty has given up. Only 6 counters that are managing to hold on to the positive territory as far as the Nifty is concerned. SBI Life, Eternal, ICICI Bank, BEL, HCL Tech and Adani Ports. Just these counters in the green with marginal gains. However, the list of losers is huge, especially dragged by the metal space. Hindalco, ONGC, Geo Financials, Wipro, TCS, all of these are the top drags in trade today. Apart from that, let's also talk about Bank Nifty. More than 300 points of downtrend over there. 59,650 is where the index is holding on to. So yes, that's about Bank Nifty. But let's also once take a look at how the mid-cap space is doing and how Nifty mid-cap is doing. Well, more than 1,000 points of fall over there. 17,260 is where the Nifty mid-cap is trading, down about 273 points. But if we talk about Nifty mid-cap 100, there we are seeing a fall of more than 1,000 points at this juncture. 1.7% of downtake over there. So yes, heavy selling in the market is what we are seeing. But before we get started with talking about all the buzzers, let's also talk about the insurance space. The insurance companies, they've responded to the Department of Financial Services, in the Finance Ministry that is, this regarding concerns of the pace of growth in commissions to intermediaries. Now, the DFS, which has earlier raised the matter of commission rates to intermediaries outpacing momentum in premiums and also growth in policies sold. Anurag Shah, my colleague, is here to take us through the details.
So in next few days, IRDA is likely to come up with a new commission regulation draft. But before that, insurance industry has responded to Finance Ministry, DFS, about the concerns raised by DFS and seeking insurers' reply that commission growth is not matching up with the premium growth. So as per our sources, general insurance companies have replied and life insurers are likely to reply today. So general insurance companies have mentioned that change in regulation has also impacted the long-term premium rules where premium will be calculated on the basis of 1 by N rule, but for acquiring the business, they have to pay the upfront commission. So that is one of a reason. Then growth in the motor segment where distribution cost is high and reduction in crop insurance business where there is no commission. These are also main reason where commission has gone up. As per for the life insurance companies, the new EOM rules, and there are certain other changes has also impacted the commission to be counted in a part of the EOM only. The marketing expenses and other distribution expenses are also getting clubbed with the commission for the overall EOM. So these are the few submissions by the insurance company as far as the concerns raised by the DFS regarding the high commission not matching with the business growth. But insurers are also saying that after the GST rationalization, now they are seeing the premium growth also. So going ahead, things will be normal.
Okay, so that's the exclusive story on insurance stocks, and the entire sector will be in focus on the back of that. Anurag, thanks so much for joining us with all those exclusive details. But let's get started then, and this is a show where we discuss all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. And on the technical side, we are now joined by Mr. Ashish Kayal, founder and CEO at Wave Strategy Advisors. And Kanishka, let's get started. Balaji Amines, the first stock on our radar this afternoon.
Absolutely. Balaji Amines is the first stock today, and it has seen a massive surge in trade today, trading nearly more than 13% higher right now. And this comes after the Maharashtra government granted mega project benefits for its expansion plans. The company has received an eligibility certificate under the state's investment-based mega project scheme, unlocking incentives worth about 250 crore rupees. These include a 50% subsidy on state GST, exemption from electricity duty, and also 100% stamp duty waiver for 7 years. That's valid until 2030. So this is a big positive for Balaji Amines. It's adding new capacities across specialty chemicals, all funded through internal accruals. In fact, the management expects operating performance to improve as plants get commissioned over the next few quarters. So big positive here, stock up more than 13% right now.
Okay, Balaji Amines up 13% in an otherwise very weak market. But Ashish, BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, that's the stock that you've picked for us this afternoon. Tell us, what do technicals suggest?
See, if you look at BEL, the stock has shown some minor profit booking from the higher levels, but the overall undertone still remains on the buy side. We can expect the stock to reach towards the previous swing high of around 430 on the upside, and on the downside, one can maintain a stop loss of 410 levels.
Okay, so that's the view on BEL. The stock, of course, today is sitting with an increase of 0.7% in an otherwise weak market. But let's also put the spotlight on LG Electronics. Remember, 2% equity lock-in after the IPO has opened today, because of which we are seeing quite a bit of selling pressure on this counter, of course, in line with what the broader markets are doing. But despite that, this counter is also sitting with a cut of over 2% as we speak. But apart from that, remember, Meesho is also in focus. Second day in a row, it has hit a lower circuit of 5%. And the reason is 2% equity lock-in for Meesho shareholders ended yesterday. And that is the reason we are seeing selling pressure for the second straight day. LG Electronics also in focus on the back of that.
Alright, so LG and Meesho both in focus on the back of that lock-in period. But let's move on and also talk about IRB Infra. Now, this one is also in focus today. A very strong set of toll collections is what it has reported for the month of December. However, the stock has given up all those gains that it saw in the morning, trading just about flat. However, has slipped to the red right now. But just to give you a brief on its numbers, now IRB Group's aggregate toll revenue, that has risen about 12% on year-on-year basis to 750 crore rupees. This was driven by steady traffic growth across key highways. The management is saying that this traffic momentum remains strong, supported by healthy economic activity. The company also expects collections to further improve as revenue from new TOT projects and completed BOT assets start contributing. Apart from that, what's also adding to the focus is that the company has begun reporting consolidated toll revenues, including InvITs, which reflects progress in its asset rotation strategy. So yes, positive news flow here. However, the stock has given up all of those morning gains today.
Okay, so that's IRB Infra for you. The stock in focus on the back of operational data for the month and quarter gone by. But Ashish, you've picked up ICICI Bank for us. What do charts suggest for this counter?
See, ICICI Bank was laggard about just a week or two back, and now the stock has started showing outperformance on the upside. Post past 3-4 days, it has shown a spectacular move. Some consolidation cannot be ruled out, but I am expecting the stock to reach towards the level of 1500. On the downside, the support for the stock is 1400 levels. Any dip can be used as a buying opportunity.
Any dip can be used as a buying opportunity. That's the word coming in for ICICI Bank. But let's also talk about Info Edge. That one had reported operational data yesterday, and Citi in fact has come out with a report where they are maintaining their sell stance on the stock, where they say that recruitment billings in the third quarter reported an increase of about 11% on a year-on-year basis. But this, remember, was lower than the kind of growth that it reported last year, which was at the rate of 15%. So clearly growth has slowed down, and that is the reason Citi has maintained its sell stance on the stock. They say Naukri JobSpeak improved modestly to 8.5% YOY, but EBITDA growth was muted at just about 2% on a year-on-year basis. IT hiring remains weak due to Gen AI disruption. GCC hiring is relatively resilient, and that trajectory is likely to continue going forward as well. Non-IT hiring outlook continues to remain very soft, and medium-term Gen AI impact on core recruitment business will be a key headwind for the stock going forward. So Citi clearly is not bullish. They are maintaining their sell stance on the stock. 11% growth rate is lower than what the company has reported in the past, and that is the reason Info Edge continues to remain under pressure today.
All right, so Info Edge continuing to be under pressure. But with that, time for a very quick break. We'll be right back to discuss more buzzes in trade today. About the space that's really beaten down in trade today, it's the metal stocks that are facing heavy pressure. This is after a sharp rally that they had seen earlier in the week. All of these names have been pushed to record and multi-year highs, but now they're witnessing a severe downtick. The Nifty Metal Index, that is the top sectoral loser today, with all of the 15 trading stocks in the red. Hindustan Zinc is leading the losses with after a strong December rally of 26%. Remember, the stock is reacting to concerns around silver selling, also as global index rebalancing could trigger up to $5 to $7 billion of outflows. That's the word coming from experts. In fact, Hindustan Copper, Nalco, Vedanta and JSPL, all of these counters are witnessing profit booking after recent gains that we saw, steep gains that we saw in the month gone by. So today's move definitely is being driven by profit taking and also near-term global commodity headwinds that we are looking at. So yes, that's the Nifty Metal space for you, witnessing heavy selling pressure today.
Okay, so that's the Nifty Metal Index. But Ashish, you have picked up Grasim for us. Tell us, what do you see on the charts?
See, if you look at Grasim, the overall trend for the stock has been somewhat pressure, is what we can clearly see in the stock over here. It has given a gap down opening and has now approached a very important support. So if the stock breaks below 2790 levels, 2780 levels, we can expect further downside pressure to be building up here towards the level of 2750 on the downside. So one should trade cautiously here. On the upside, the major resistance is going to be at 2830 levels.
That's the word on Grasim. Thank you, Ashish, for joining us today and helping us understand all of the stocks that are in focus today on the back of technicals. On that note, we'll let you go. And with that, we're also completely timed out on this edition of Market Fatafat. Ashish and I will take your leave, but don't go anywhere. Closing trades is coming up next.